you've been spending a lot of time with Donald Trump. You had a long conversation with him on the phone at NATO. Big thumbs up. The cameras caught you doing that. One thing we've heard from the Americans is that if there's going to be a breakthrough on trade, it needs to happen at the leaders level. So do you think you've made any progress with the president when it comes to trade?
I'll keep you posted.
On the boarding out bridge, the U.S. ambassador has said that there are two issues the Americans have: control of the bridge and tolls. They want more money sooner. Are you willing to renegotiate the current agreement to make sure the bridge opens?
I think we're willing to clarify aspects of the current arrangements.
Our last question, dernière question.
Hi, Prime Minister.
Hi.
Murray Brewster with CBC. The IMF today reduced its global forecast, mostly because of the lingering effects of the war with Iran.
Yeah.
How long does this war have to go on before there is real damage? And is a permanent ceasefire further out of reach now that President Trump says further talks are a waste of time?
First thing is that I was pleased to see that Canada remains the second strong, according to the IMF's forecast, the second fastest growing economy in the G7. And that also points to part of the answer to the question and the strategy. One of the discussions that the Crown Prince, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and I had at some length, but also I picked up from other discussions, was the importance, and we're doing the same, we talk about what we can control and what we can control. Let's focus on what we can control. What we can control first and foremost in Canada is what we're doing within our borders, what we're building, how we build together, how we make sure we're building for all of those aspects. The recognition and addressing the very real pressures that Canadians face in terms of affordability, that we can control. We can highly influence, but not control, our partnerships abroad, right? We can go out and we build out those partnerships. The payoff, the domestic, what we can control is building a stronger Canada. This is supplementing it, builds out over time. And the economies that focus on what they can control are going to do better regardless of what happens, not that it's unimportant, but what happens miles away from here. I would say with respect to your second part of your question, the 60-day MOU was always a framework for more talks. As in any framework, there's ambiguities in that framework. Those ambiguities may be part of the challenges that we're experiencing, particularly about free passage in the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, a fundamental red line, I think, for the world, but also for the United States in it for obvious reasons. Is a longer-term, a prolonged cessation of hostilities possible, even with current events? Yes, yeah, it's possible, and that's certainly one of the scenarios that we can see. Whether that's a formalized ceasefire certainly remains to be seen, but there are other risks, as I said. I think it was yesterday, it certainly holds today, that it's a very fragile, tense situation. It is one of the key determinants of the path of that situation, which matters for the world, which matters for Canadians, because there's knock-on effect on food and energy prices and other elements, and knock-on effect of one of the key influencers is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which is why one of the reasons why we're here talking to them, not sitting in front of a lecturing them.